Do you ever feel like you're slowing down? Maybe you struggle to get out of bed in the morning, or a short walk leaves you more exhausted than it used to. Consider someone like Barbara. At 72, she started noticing that her legs didn't move as swiftly as they once did. The stairs felt daunting, and she found herself holding on to furniture just to keep her balance. It scared her because she valued her independence and didn't want to lose it. But then she discovered 5 simple practices that completely transformed her mobility and energy levels. No fancy gym routines, no special equipment, just small, easy changes she could implement at home. In this video, I'll be sharing those same strategies with you. These methods helped Barbara regain her strength and confidence, and they can do the same for you. Stick around until the end because the final 2 tips were the game changers for her, and they might be exactly what you need too. Before we dive in, I'd truly appreciate it if you could like this video. Your support helps me continue spreading these valuable insights on aging gracefully. If you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to do so and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Also, let me know what you think. If you like the content, comment with the number 1. If not, comment with 0 so I can improve my future videos for you. Let's get started. Aging is often misunderstood. Many believe it's an unavoidable decline into weakness, stiffness, and fatigue. They assume that as the years pass, the body simply stops cooperating. But that's not the full picture. Aging doesn't mean you have to stop moving or accept a life of inactivity. Instead, it signals a shift, a time when your body requires a different kind of care. Far too many people blame their loss of energy and mobility on age alone. They think feeling stiff or weak is just part of the process, something that can't be changed. But much of what we associate with aging isn't actually caused by getting older. It's the result of how we respond to the changes that come with it. Inactivity is often the real culprit. Take Barbara's experience. Over time, she found herself moving less and less. Maybe it started when she avoided long walks because her knees hurt, or she stopped lifting certain items because her arms felt weak. The less she moved, the weaker her muscles became, and as her strength declined, even the simplest activities started to feel overwhelming. It became a vicious cycle. Less movement led to more weakness, which led to even less movement. Before she knew it, she felt trapped in a body that seemed to be working against her. But then, Barbara made a change. She decided to take action, and what happened next was incredible. Her body responded, showing her that improvement was still possible. She didn't need intense workouts or complicated regimens, just small, consistent movements that helped her rebuild her strength. Your body is built for movement. Throughout history, humans have always been active, walking, lifting, climbing, and constantly engaging their muscles. When we stop moving regularly, our bodies begin to deteriorate. Muscles shrink from disuse, joints lose flexibility, and energy levels plummet. Imagine leaving a car untouched in a garage for months. When you finally start the engine, it sputters. The tires have gone flat, and the battery has drained. Your body operates the same way. Neglect it, and it struggles to function. But if you give it movement, it thrives. The good news, you don't need to overhaul your life overnight. Even small steps can reverse this trend. If long walks feel daunting, start by pacing around your living room or taking short strolls down the hallway. If mornings leave you stiff, do gentle stretches in bed. Reach your arms overhead, roll your shoulders, or flex your ankles. If stairs feel intimidating, practice stepping up and down on a single step while holding onto a railing for support. These tiny actions may seem insignificant at first, but they add up. Barbara's transformation is proof of that. She began with just 5 minutes of walking a day. Not enough to break a sweat, but enough to spark change. Within weeks, her balance improved, her legs felt stronger, and her confidence returned. She didn't train for a marathon or lift heavy weights. She simply allowed her body to wake up again. And that's the key takeaway. No matter your age, you can regain strength, mobility, and independence. Your body is adaptable, and movement is essential to aging well. Another major challenge many people face with age is persistent fatigue. It's that deep exhaustion that lingers, even after a full night's sleep. You might wake up feeling drained, struggle to keep your energy up through the day, and find yourself collapsing onto the couch by evening, despite not having done much physically. Barbara went through this too. She assumed it was just part of getting older, something she had to accept, but she later realized that fatigue wasn't an inevitable part of aging. It was a symptom of certain habits that had fallen out of balance. Several factors can contribute to constant tiredness. One of the biggest is inconsistent sleep. Staying up late one night and going to bed early the next throws off your body's natural rhythm, leaving you groggy and unfocused. Another culprit is lack of movement. While it might seem logical to rest when you feel tired, inactivity can actually make things worse, slowing down circulation and metabolism, which leads to even more sluggishness. And then there's hydration. Many people don't realize that even mild dehydration can cause fatigue, foggy thinking, and low energy. If you feel exhausted all the time, don't just accept it. Investigate what's causing it and take steps to regain your energy. Start by drinking more water throughout the day. Dehydration is often mistaken for fatigue, so keeping a water bottle nearby and sipping regularly can make a noticeable difference. Next, take a closer look at your sleep habits. Quality is just as important as quantity. Try going to bed and waking up at the same time every day to regulate your body's internal clock. Avoid screens before bed. The blue light from phones and TVs can interfere with melatonin production, making it harder to fall asleep naturally. And finally, move your body even when you don't feel like it. It might seem counterintuitive, but low-energy days often improve with gentle movement. A short walk, a few simple stretches. These small efforts boost circulation, improve mood, and increase energy levels. Barbara learned this firsthand. Once she started drinking more water, adjusting her bedtime routine, and staying consistent with her short walks, the fog of fatigue lifted. Mornings became easier, and by the afternoon, she wasn't collapsing into a chair, completely drained. Aging doesn't mean you have to accept weakness, stiffness, or exhaustion. Your body is designed to adapt, and small, consistent actions can create remarkable changes. Whether it's adding a little more movement to your day, improving your hydration, or refining your sleep habits, these simple adjustments can help you maintain strength, energy, and independence. It's never too late to start taking care of yourself in a way that keeps you feeling vibrant and capable. So, are you ready to take that first step? Let me know in the comments below. And if this video was helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who could benefit from these tips. By evening, she found herself with enough energy to truly enjoy her time rather than merely pushing through the hours. Aging wasn't the true cause of her exhaustion. It was the habits she had unconsciously let slip. Fatigue doesn't have to be the defining factor of your days. Small, intentional adjustments can bring noticeable changes to your energy levels in just a few days. It's not about making drastic lifestyle changes that leave you drained. Instead, it's about providing your body with what it truly needs to function at its best. You have far more influence over how you feel than you might realize, and it all begins with a refusal to accept exhaustion as the norm. Barbara decided to take action, and the steps she implemented were surprisingly simple, yet highly effective. You can follow her example starting tonight. First, she established a consistent sleep schedule, choosing a bedtime of 10:30 p.m. and waking up at 7 o'clock a.m. every day, including weekends. This regularity helped train her body's internal clock, making it easier to fall asleep and wake up feeling refreshed. Second, she created a bedtime ritual to signal to her body and mind that it was time to unwind. An hour before bed, she turned off screens, dimmed the lights, and sometimes took a warm bath infused with lavender to relax her nervous system. Third, She transformed her bedroom into a true sanctuary for rest. No electronic distractions, no clutter, just a cool, dark, peaceful space designed for deep sleep. The results were swift and undeniable. Within a week, she was waking up with mental clarity she hadn't experienced in years. Her body felt more agile, her muscles less stiff, and her energy levels remained steady throughout the day. This is your invitation to take back control of your sleep. You deserve nights that leave you refreshed, not drained. Try these small adjustments and see just how quickly they transform your days. But Barbara's journey didn't stop there. Even with improved sleep, she sensed there was another factor that needed addressing, something more subtle yet potentially more damaging than restless nights. A hidden challenge that affects nearly everyone in modern life. Let me ask you, how many hours do you spend sitting each day? 3? 5? Now double that. Chances are you're sitting for far more hours than you realize. For Barbara, sitting had become second nature. Like so many of us, she had unknowingly settled into a routine that kept her more inactive than she realized. Her mornings started with a warm cup of coffee at the kitchen table, followed by hours spent watching her favorite programs, checking her phone during quiet moments, or sitting comfortably while catching up with a friend. She believed her short walks and occasional housework were enough to keep her moving. But when she finally tracked her daily activity, the numbers painted a different picture. On average, she was seated for more than 8 hours a day, sometimes creeping closer to 10. The realization was a jolt she hadn't anticipated. The reality is sobering. The more time you spend sitting, the harder it is to regain momentum. Long periods of stillness restrict circulation, make joints rigid, and quietly weaken muscles. Over time, these effects accumulate, making even simple daily tasks, like rising from a chair, climbing stairs, or carrying grocery bags, feel increasingly challenging. She recognized the risk ahead. If she didn't make a change, she would gradually lose the independence she valued so deeply. And if you're watching this, chances are you feel the same way. You want to stay active, free, and capable for as long as possible. Determined to turn things around, she took a simple yet effective approach, one you can adopt right now. First, she made a conscious effort to stand up every hour. A quiet chime on her phone served as a gentle reminder, encouraging her to stretch, move, and shake off the stiffness, even if just for a moment. Second, she seamlessly integrated movement into her everyday activities. She marched in place while brushing her teeth, paced the room during phone calls, and did small calf raises while waiting for water to boil. Third, she reframed movement as something enjoyable rather than a chore. No exhausting workouts, no overwhelming fitness plans, just easy, playful activities. She chose the farthest parking spot, opted for stairs instead of elevators, and swayed to music while preparing meals. Within weeks, the shift was undeniable. Her body moved with greater ease, her legs felt stronger, and the stiffness that had once seemed inevitable started to fade. And here's the key takeaway. Movement is the foundation of maintaining independence. The longer you remain sedentary, the more your body adapts to stillness. One day, you may suddenly realize that tasks you once did effortlessly, walking across a room, standing up without struggle, have become difficult. But you can change that trajectory. Start today. Move just a little more than you did yesterday. Your future self, the one who wants to continue exploring, enjoying life, and embracing each day, will thank you endlessly. With these changes, she felt a newfound sense of control over her energy and well-being. Yet, she sensed that something was still missing, one crucial piece of the puzzle that could further enhance her vitality. It was a simple, effortless habit, yet its impact stretched far beyond what she had imagined. It affected her bones, her mood, and even her resilience. And once she discovered it, everything began to shift in an even more profound way. If you're finding value in this conversation, let me know in the comments by typing 2 below. And if you haven't subscribed yet, consider doing so and turning on notifications. Your support allows us to keep bringing you useful, inspiring content. Now, let's talk about the missing link that could change everything. She had come so far. By improving her sleep, reducing prolonged sitting, and rediscovering the joy of movement, she felt stronger and more energized than she had in years. She was taking charge of her aging journey, no longer feeling like it was something happening to her, but rather something she could navigate with intention. Then, on an otherwise ordinary afternoon, something made her pause. As she sat on her porch, sipping her tea, she noticed that despite all her progress, there were still moments when things felt slightly off. Her knees occasionally ached more than she liked. Some days, her mood dipped unexpectedly. Fatigue crept in at times for no clear reason. She wasn't sure why, until a routine doctor's visit led to an unexpected insight. "How often do you get outside?" her doctor asked casually. The question caught her off guard. Sure, she took short walks, but beyond that, she spent most of her time indoors, reading by the window, watching her favorite shows, or keeping busy around the house. It wasn't something she had given much thought to, but what her doctor explained next shifted her entire perspective. We all know sunlight helps the body produce vitamin D, but its role extends far beyond that, especially as we age. Vitamin D isn't just a nutrient, it's a pillar of well-being. It strengthens bones, keeps muscles flexible, and supports smooth joint movement. Without enough of it, bones grow fragile, balance declines, and even mental health can suffer. Here's the challenge. As we get older, our skin becomes less effective at synthesizing vitamin D from sunlight. And since modern lifestyles often keep us indoors, many of us are unknowingly depriving ourselves of a vital health boost. She had assumed that occasional stiffness and fatigue were just a natural part of aging. But what if they weren't? What if they were the result of something entirely fixable? Determined to test the theory, she made a small change, one that required no effort at all. Every morning, she spent just 10 minutes outside. No complex plan, no expensive equipment, simply sitting on her porch or walking her driveway while soaking up the sun's warmth. And within weeks, she noticed a difference. Her joints felt more at ease, her mood became more stable, and an unexpected bonus? She was sleeping better at night. Science backs this up. Studies show that regular exposure to natural sunlight doesn't just fortify bones, it enhances mental clarity, strengthens immunity, and regulates sleep cycles. So now, let me ask you, how much time do you spend outdoors each day? If your answer is not much, you're not alone. But it's time to rethink that. The best part? This solution is free and requires almost no effort. Here's how you can start today. Aim for 10 to 15 minutes of sunlight daily. Morning exposure is especially beneficial as it helps regulate your internal clock for better sleep. But any time is better than none. Find simple ways to incorporate it. Enjoy your coffee outside, take a short walk after lunch, or sit near an open window where sunlight can reach you. And while it's important to protect your skin, don't be afraid of the sun entirely. Your body craves it for a reason. She was amazed at how something so effortless could create such powerful results. She felt more vibrant, more balanced, more like herself. Yet, she knew one final step would secure her ability to stay active and independent for years to come. It was the simplest habit of all, one that ensured she could keep moving, keep thriving, and keep embracing life with confidence. Barbara had always taken pride in the strides she had made in improving her overall well-being. She had adopted healthier eating habits, found small yet effective ways to stay active, and maintained a positive mindset. However, a quiet realization struck her. She had never specifically focused on strengthening her legs. And if she didn't take action soon, she could already envision the future ahead. Difficulty rising from a chair, an unsteady gait, and an increasing risk of falls that could dramatically alter her life. She had seen it unfold too often among her friends and neighbors. A seemingly harmless stumble over a rug, a missed step off a curb, a sudden fall, and then the inevitable chain of consequences. A fractured hip, weeks confined to a hospital bed, and for some, the transition to a life of dependency. She could still picture her dear friend Margaret, once vibrant and full of life, now bound to a wheelchair after what had seemed like a minor fall. Barbara refused to let that become her reality, not if she had the power to change it. Right then and there, she made a commitment, not just to herself, but to her legs, the silent champions of her independence. They had carried her through life's journey, and it was time she gave them the care and attention they deserved. Leg strength wasn't just about movement, it was the foundation of her freedom. Weak legs made even the simplest tasks, standing up, walking to the store, climbing a short set of stairs, seem like insurmountable challenges. But the good news? She didn't need drastic measures to reclaim her strength. Barbara didn't rush to enroll in an expensive gym membership or invest in sophisticated exercise equipment. She didn't set aside hours for exhausting workouts. Instead, she started small, integrating just a few minutes of simple leg exercises into her daily routine. Within weeks, the transformation was undeniable. Rising from her favorite chair no longer required extra effort. She walked to the local shop and back without feeling out of breath or uncertain in her steps. The stairs to her bedroom? She climbed them effortlessly, without hesitation. If Barbara could do it, with her aging joints and busy life, so can you. All it takes is a few simple exercises, a chair, and a few minutes each day. Start with chair squats. Lower yourself onto a sturdy chair slowly, then stand up again without using your hands for support. Repeat this 5 to 10 times, feeling your thigh and glute muscles engage. This simple movement wakes up your legs and reinforces their strength. Next, try seated leg lifts. Sit up straight, extend one leg out in front of you, and hold for a few seconds. Feel the gentle strain as your thigh muscles activate. Lower your leg and repeat with the other. This exercise targets the quadriceps, crucial for stability and balance. Lastly, practice heel raises. Stand behind a chair for support, rise onto your tiptoes, pause, then slowly lower yourself back down. This strengthens the calves, improves circulation, and can even reduce ankle swelling after a long day. Consistency is the key. Barbara began with just 5 minutes daily, sometimes while waiting for her coffee to brew. Today, she moves through life with confidence, knowing her legs are strong enough to support her. Whether it's a stroll through the park or an impromptu visit to a friend, she embraces life without fear. That's the freedom I want for you. Mobility loss isn't just about struggling to walk. It's about losing the ability to live life on your own terms. But you can preserve that freedom one small step at a time. Barbara's journey wasn't built on drastic overhauls or rigid fitness routines. It was founded on small, mindful habits that compounded into a significant transformation. And just as she was getting stronger, she discovered one final piece of the puzzle, a simple yet powerful practice that would enhance not only her physical strength, but also her mental clarity and emotional well-being. She had never considered it before. It seemed too simple, too easy, but once she gave it a try, she knew she had found the missing element in her routine. This gentle practice didn't just strengthen her body, it grounded her mind and brought her a profound sense of balance. I'll share this transformative practice in the next section, and trust me, you won't want to miss it. If you're still watching, leave a comment with the number 3 to let me know you're here. And if you haven't already, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss more life-enhancing insights like this. Your support allows us to continue bringing you valuable content to empower and inspire. Barbara had come a long way. She spent less time sitting and more time on her feet. She was sleeping better, waking up refreshed, and diligently strengthening her legs every day. At 72, she felt more energetic and agile than she had in years. But something still wasn't right. Some days her muscles felt unusually tight, as though weighed down by an unseen force. Her joints resisted movement in the mornings, protesting against the demands of the day. And then there was the mental aspect. Aging wasn't just about physical changes. It came with a quiet undercurrent of worries. What if she took a fall? What if her newfound strength slipped away? What if all her hard work unraveled over time? These lingering doubts created a constant background noise of anxiety. She needed something more, something that could nurture both her body and her mind. That's when she stumbled upon yoga and Tai Chi. Initially, she laughed off the idea. Weren't these activities for young, flexible people? Surely not for someone in her 70s. She imagined herself awkwardly fumbling through poses, out of place among younger, more agile participants. But curiosity won out. After a gentle nudge from a friend and the reassurance that she could start slow, she decided to give it a try. 1 week in, and Barbara was hooked. It was as if she had uncovered a secret key to aging with grace and strength. Her body felt more fluid, the stiffness melting away with each controlled stretch. Her balance improved, her posture straightened, and she stood taller with newfound stability. But the biggest surprise? The impact on her mind. The worries that once kept her up at night softened into a quiet calm. Her thoughts became clearer, more focused. It was like clearing out mental cobwebs, making room for peace and clarity. And the best part? She didn't need a studio, fancy equipment, or an instructor. She practiced in the comfort of her own home, in her coziest sweater. If you've ever felt tension creeping into your shoulders, a slight wobble in your step, or a flicker of worry about the future, this is for you. Yoga and Tai Chi aren't about twisting yourself into impossible shapes or mastering ancient forms overnight. They're about reconnecting with your body, moving with intention, and finding balance in every step. With just a few minutes a day, you can transform not only how you move, but how you feel, inside and out. Imagine waking up every morning feeling a little more unsteady on your feet. It happens gradually, so slowly that you barely notice at first. Maybe you hesitate before stepping off a curb, or you second-guess reaching for the top shelf. Then one day, that hesitation turns into something more, a stumble, a fall. And suddenly, life changes. A fractured hip, weeks of rehabilitation, or a new reality where independence isn't guaranteed. Barbara had seen it happen to others. Friends who were once active and full of life, now relying on walkers or confined to their homes. She refused to let that be her story. That's when she discovered something powerful, something backed by science, yet simple enough to start in just minutes a day: mindful movement. Practices like yoga and Tai Chi weren't just about stretching or flexibility. They were a bridge to stability, a tool to keep her body strong and her mind calm. At first, she started small, just 5 minutes a day, easing into gentle poses and fluid movements that activated her core and refined her balance. She paid close attention to her breath, moving with purpose and feeling the ground steady beneath her feet. And soon, she noticed a shift. The fear she once felt stepping onto uneven ground disappeared. Her body felt stronger, her steps more confident. Most importantly, she trusted herself again. The truth is, staying mobile and independent isn't about having the perfect fitness routine. It's about taking that first step. No need for fancy equipment or intense workouts, just a few minutes in a quiet space, allowing your body to relearn what it was built to do, move with ease. Small intentional actions can lead to transformative results. Barbara's story proves that, and so can yours. If you're finding this video helpful, drop a comment below with the number 4 to let us know you're here. And if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos filled with insights to keep you strong and thriving. Now, let's talk about another incredible benefit of mindful movement, one that often surprises people. Beyond the physical strength and balance it brings, these practices unlock something even deeper: peace of mind. For years, Barbara carried a weight she couldn't shake. Worries about her health, the future, and the fear of becoming a burden to her family lingered constantly. They weren't passing thoughts, they were ever present, filling her nights with restlessness and her days with unease. She needed a way to quiet the storm in her mind, to find a sense of calm amidst the uncertainties of aging. That's when she discovered the profound mental and emotional benefits of yoga and Tai Chi. These weren't just exercises, they were a form of moving meditation. She learned to focus on her breath, not in the shallow, automatic way she had done her entire life, but in a way that reached deep into her core, unraveling the tension she had carried for years. With each inhale and exhale, she let go of stress, of fear, of the things she couldn't control. The impact was undeniable. She no longer felt consumed by endless what ifs. Instead, she found herself anchored in the present moment. The past no longer had a grip on her, and the uncertainties of the future didn't paralyze her with fear. She felt lighter, more at ease, and genuinely happy in a way she hadn't in years. Tai Chi became her moving sanctuary. The slow, deliberate sequences required her full attention, pulling her out of anxious thoughts and into the now. Each movement was a lesson in balance, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. The more she practiced, the more she realized this wasn't just about staying mobile. It was about reclaiming her peace. And here's the incredible part. This isn't just Barbara's story. This sense of inner calm and renewed strength is within your reach too. Yoga and Tai Chi aren't reserved for the super fit or the ultra disciplined. They're invitations to slow down, to reconnect with yourself, and to discover a life where stress doesn't dictate your days. So if you've ever felt overwhelmed, if you've ever wished for a way to feel more grounded, more in control of your own well-being, know that you already have everything you need to begin. Just a few minutes a day can open the door to a new way of living, one where you feel steady, strong, and at peace. Before we wrap up, I'd love to hear from you. What resonated with you the most from this video? Take a moment to share one thing you're taking away and how you'll apply it to your own life. Your insight might just inspire someone else to make a positive change. And if you found this valuable, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Elderly Hacks for more tips, guidance, and encouragement. Our goal is to help you meet your body and mind where they are, offering them the care and support they deserve. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay strong, stay steady, and most importantly, stay inspired.